Good morning. This is a bit about how I'm structuring my diet in Bali because I thought it would be useful. And it is early in the morning, I think it's about 6 a.m. at the moment. Typically, back home, I would never eat this early, but I've been training in the morning here, so I want to make sure I'm fueled for performance in the gym. So I am eating something before the gym. As I say, back home, I wouldn't be doing this. And I'm starting the day, as I always start the day, with oats that I still haven't quite nailed here yet, but it's not massive. I definitely want to get some carbs and fats in before I train though, because I want to maintain muscle mass and get as strong as possible. The biggest thing that's changed for me when moving around the world is keeping my routine and structure the same and keeping foods very, very similar. I used to freak out a lot when I went away because I was like, I'm not in control of my foods, it's not going to be perfect. So now I've accepted that, but I do keep the principles the same. Normally, if I wasn't training in the morning, I'd be having protein powder in with the oats, but I'm not now because I just want it to digest really well. And I'll be having some sort of protein shake after the gym. But for the time being, the actual fundamentals of it stay the same. Got oats, banana, bit of Biscoff spread and some cinnamon that's going to go in, digest well before I go to the gym, and then I'll show you how I'm structuring the rest of my diet out here in Bali, because I don't have food scales out here and I don't have body weight scales, so I'm eyeballing things, but I'll show you the principles that I stick to make sure that I am on point with my diet every day. So I am still tracking when I am eating out here, even though I don't know exactly what is in there. For a couple of reasons. Number one, because I've been tracking for a long amount of time, so I'm pretty good at eyeballing quantities. I know it's not going to be perfect and I will be out. So I just overestimate everything that I am having. So I've put in here 50 grams of oats. I know that's not 50 grams, but it's going to be relatively close, probably somewhere between 35, 45, somewhere like that. But I just give myself that natural buffer. Then I've got a banana in there, easy to track anyway. A few frozen raspberries, and then a bit of Biscoff spread that I'm tracking as 10 grams. I was going to say 10 kilograms. Tracking as 10 grams. And I know it's probably slightly underneath that. So I just give myself a little bit of a natural buffer. So although it's not going to be as accurate as humanly possible, it's still going to keep me accountable, and I'm not going to be too far off of it, especially if I'm overestimating slightly. So just because you're traveling, just because you're away, if you've still got goals that you want to hit and you still want to track your calories, you definitely can do. It just needs to be accepted that it won't be accurate, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it, because you can still stay on point by eyeballing and over-guesstimating. That's why tracking's so good, because after a while you'll get very good at eyeballing quantities. So I'm going to have this, and it looks pretty good. And then we're going to get down to the gym, and then I'm going to do something slightly different today post-workout with a shake, because they do a really good Oreo shake at the gym and I very much fancy it. So I'm going to be having that, and they've got all the calories and macros listed there as well, so that's easy enough to track. And I'll show you how I track it and then save it as a meal as well. Also, I will just mention that you don't have to eat before you train, but I would recommend it for performance, and especially if you want to retain or at least build muscle mass. And then for women, I would always recommend that they have something before they train, something carbohydrate based, no matter what time of day it is, big or small, even half a banana. You definitely want to have something. Men can kind of get away with it a little bit more if they want to train fasted, but I would still always recommend it because I feel a lot better once I've eaten. I quite like training fasted, but I don't feel like I get as good of a pump. I don't feel like my strength is there as much. And this will digest really well, and you want to make sure it is something that digests well, so fast-acting carbohydrate that's going to go down well. Back from the gym now, did legs, but it's kind of like a modified legs at the moment because I've got a knee injury that is around, well, because of the IT band essentially, and having stronger quads than hamstrings. And it's very frustrating, and I haven't been able to run for a few weeks. Not mad about that, but it is annoying. But anyway, session done. This is about nutrition, and normally when I get back from the gym, I would leave it maybe about an hour before I have a shake. I've got some gold standard there, and then I'll whack some creatine in, and then that's probably it until lunchtime. But today's slightly different, so maybe not the truest representation of what I'm doing with my diet, but the timings are staying the same. So instead, I've got an Oreo shake here from the gym. It is unbelievable. I used to make these back home for myself, be like 2 scoops of either vanilla whey or chocolate whey, normally vanilla, 300 mils of milk, ice, and then 2 Oreos. I don't know exactly what they put in here. However, they do have the macros listed, so it makes tracking nice and easy when I haven't made it. Now, the easiest way to track things when you're unsure is just to take an educated guesstimate. But in this case, I input it in, and this is 350 calories, 25 carbs, 15 fat, and 38 protein. And I put everything in, well, I created a meal, which is really easy to do in MyFitnessPal. If you don't know how to do it, then I'll try and show you quickly. When you're creating meals, you would hit add food, and then at the top here, I don't know if you can see that, it would say my meals, my recipes, my foods. So you can just then, I've created loads of meals here that I tend to have on repeat. So then I've just got nice quick ads. So then you just hit create meal, and then you'd go from there and just name it. So that makes that very nice and easy for me. And then typical lunch at the moment, it sounds a bit weird, but I've been having scrambled eggs, either with, if we've got some like sourdough or something, which we haven't. So I've been having 3 to 4 scrambled eggs with, this is gonna sound weird, I don't know why I'm hesitating, but with some rice, and then like cherry tomatoes, bit of sriracha, that sort of thing all mixed together. So carbs and protein, but it's just digesting so well at the moment. It's very easy and simple. Back home I was having the same sort of thing, but I'd have it with sourdough or a bagel. Today again, going to be slightly different because we are going to be working from a cafe today just for a change of scenery. But I'm going to keep it the same. I'm going to have sourdough and scrambled eggs around midday, and then later on I will show you whatever I end up making. At the moment we've been smashing pasta, and then we're out this evening, but normally, well not normal, yeah, normally I have that a normal yogurt bowl every single day. So my timings at the moment with food are around 5:30 in the morning, which is about 3 to 5 hours earlier than I normally do. Then I'll have a protein shake and a banana typically after the gym. Then I'll have scrambled eggs around 1 o'clock, and then I eat around 6 to 7, and then I have the yogurt bowl in the evening. So the best thing is that my routine structure, all the principles that I've learned over the years stay the same no matter what environment I'm in. And then we're going to be traveling next week just for a day or two because we've got to get out of the country. I'll keep those principles the same even if I'm eating on the go. The timings will stay relatively similar, and then I'll just be selecting foods that are going to be high in protein and fit in with my goals. So I'm hovering anywhere between, because at the weekends I'm being a little bit more off plan. When I say weekends, just Saturdays to be honest. I'm tending, apart from today, I tend to cook and prepare all my own food Monday through to Friday lunchtime, and then Friday evenings we're either ordering in or going out, and then Saturday we're typically eating out for 2 to 3 meals. So on average, my calories that I'm tracking at the moment are somewhere between 2,400 and 2,600. I'm very happy there. I'm staying really nice and lean. My performance is good. I'm not hungry, and I've got a nice lot of flexibility as well. So I'll show you the rest of the food today as well. Alright, been working for a good couple of hours, had an iced latte, and now I'm having some food. And I said I was going to go for scrambled eggs with sourdough, and I have done, but I've gone for chili scrambled eggs because it sounded good. So here we go. Looks very good too, easy enough to track, and I'll have this, and then I probably won't eat until later on. We've decided we're going to be having pasta before we're actually going to a show tonight, and then I'll have my yogurt bowl when I get back, and that puts me around about now, because I pre-track everything in advance, at around 2,300 calories. So I'm giving myself a bit of a buffer in case I have a drink or something else tonight as well, and well within my calorie budget. So I pre-track everything in advance, then I don't have to think. Alright, here we go, dinner time, and it's a little bit earlier than I normally would because we're going out tonight watching Chris Williamson's live show. So what I'm doing is cooking up a storm for me, Kat, and Kat's friend Izzy, who's been staying with us. We're having pesto pasta tonight, and I've got some tofu as well that I'm going to be having with it, and eyeballing the portions again, but overestimating, keeping it nice and simple. And then I've just got a yogurt bowl to look forward to later on, so I'll show you a little finished article of this, probably not going to be anything crazy, and then I'll show you the yogurt bowl later on, because that is the best thing that I have every single day. As I mentioned earlier, principles staying the same, the type of foods are staying the same as much as possible. But obviously it's slightly different out here, but I'm just keeping things as simple as I possibly can do. And that's how you stay on track whilst being in different countries. Right, I'm rounding off the night with a yogurt bar, and I don't have a top on because I didn't want to spill all of this down my top, and I definitely would. So this is Greek yogurt. I put a scoop of whey protein in there, which makes it very protein heavy. I'm just going to show you this. Look at the state of that. This is tropical yogurt bowl vibes. It's got papaya, kiwi, dates, granola, peanut butter, and I put a little bit of cinnamon on because I love cinnamon, and I look really sweaty because I'm hot. Anyway, that is the typical day of food in Bali. I ate out for the morning, which I normally don't do until the weekend, but the foods kind of stayed the same. I had similar sort of foods, and it is a simple setup. That is the most important thing that I would say. It is just keeping it simple, keeping the principles there of protein with every meal and good quality foods. I'm even almost dribbling because I cannot wait to eat that, so I'm going to go and eat that now. But hopefully you got something out of that. I will showcase more of the food that I am having here, especially maybe out and about as well, because it is ridiculous. But yeah, love that. Yogurt bowl to finish off the night, around 4 meals. I don't really snack. I might have a couple of things at the weekend, especially it's Easter this weekend, so might have a bit of chocolate, but I've never been a snacker. Just 4 meals, no need to snack, hits the spot, hits the protein, keeps the rig in check and performance high, and that's the most important thing.